Paul Reichoff, it is also important to view it as a continuum. His affinity for Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un and Viktor Orban is of a piece with his disdain for the military and military service. Because if you love our adversaries and enemies, you don't understand that American men and women, generations of them, paid with their lives for us to live a totally different way of life here in a free democracy. Just talk about what these comments revealed for you, if anything.
This is who Donald Trump is. You know, he's been this guy from the beginning. He can't change who he is, and he's doubling down on it over and over again. And he's so arrogant that he doesn't even back off. I mean, I'm honored to be on a panel with these heroes, and I'm glad you read Colonel Jack Jacobs' citation. Everyone should read it. You know, I'd tell Donald Trump to read it, but it probably wouldn't matter because this is a giant teachable moment, right? That's the upside here, is that now everybody watching, especially young people, are going to better understand what the Medal of Honor means, what freedom really means, what leadership means. And what leadership means is sacrifice. And that's what Donald Trump is unwilling to do. And that's why Orban and Putin and everyone else are celebrating him. Our enemies are celebrating when they see a former commander-in-chief attack our military. And he's done it over and over again. He's done it to Milley. He's done it to John McCain. He's done it in so many ways. And even if it's not malicious or it's an attempt to undermine our government, it's sloppy and it's unacceptable and it's weird. And I think it's really now moved beyond being about just Trump. You know, we know who he is. The question now is for the Americans who are on the fence. This is not just about him. It's about you. Are you okay with a guy being our commander-in-chief who thinks that way about people like Jack Jacobs and about people like Buddy Bucha, who we just lost a couple weeks ago, and people like Sal Junta? Because if he feels that way about a Medal of Honor recipient, how do you think he feels about you as an average person somewhere in Ohio or Pennsylvania and Florida? I think that's the deeper conversation we have to have here, because if he feels that way about our country's superheroes, he feels that way, and probably even worse, about the everyman and everywoman.
Paul, General McCaffrey said it's up to Democrats to make sure people understand that. What is the new opportunity with your friend Governor Walz on the ticket to do just that?
Well, it's an opportunity for the Democrats to go on the offense and to teach the country what service is all about. We talked about this the other day. I really think it's important to draw the contrast between the types of leaders that these guys are. I mean, we've got three guys on a ticket now, and there are two on one side that are very different than the other one. I mean, we might be better off if there were no guys on the ticket, but we've got three. And the two on the right are horrible human beings. They're bad role models. They're bad leaders. And Tim Walz is a selfless leader who's given back his entire career as a coach, as a teacher, in his time in the military. I think drawing that contrast between weird and good and dark and honorable and bad and nice is really important, because not only our enemies are watching, our kids are watching. My son turns 9 tomorrow. It's his birthday. And he can see that that's not how you're supposed to be. And I really would call on independents, especially. I'd call on all the former generals. Now is the time to come off the sidelines and speak out. It's not acceptable to say, I was in the military and I can't get involved in politics, because this is about much more than politics. It's about the future of our country. And everybody needs to come off on the sidelines and call him out for what he is, and use it as a teachable moment, because the younger generation is watching. And if you accept this, they will think it's acceptable. And that'll really erode the very foundation of what this country is all about.